Equation number 4. C2H6 gas, O2 gas, CO2 gas, H2O gas. Now I don't even have to balance this. I could tell you right now that what this is. Hydrocarbon fuel and oxygen, CO2 and water. This is a combustion reaction. We do need to balance it though. CHO. Kind of what I'm doing today right here. Chew. You don't get it? Okay. Well, Kia says she was doing yesterday. Alright, if we have 2 carbons on the left, we're going to save oxygen for last and hydrogen next to last. That's one of our rules. If we've got carbon, one carbon on the right but 2 on the left, I need a coefficient of 2 in front of the carbon-bearing compound. And that's going to change the number of carbons and the number of oxygens. That gives us 2 carbons. We need to count up our oxygens. So we've got 2 times 2, 4 oxygens plus the 1 here. That's 5 oxygens. Alright, we want to save oxygen for last. Let's go to hydrogen next. I've got 6 on this side, 2 on this side. I need a coefficient 3 here. And that's going to change the hydrogens and it's going to change the oxygens. I've got 6 hydrogens now. So 2 times 2 is 4 oxygens here. And I have 3 times 1, or 3 oxygens, so that's 7 oxygens I have right now. Alright, this is one of those cases where you cannot, you got an odd number of oxygens on one side and an even number on the other side. And so I said there were 2 ways to solve that. Monday when I was out, the video showed one way to do that. I just prefer to sort of shortcut all that and go through and multiply all the coefficients in front of all the species except oxygen by 2. To me that just seems faster because that's where you're going to go anyway when you get there. So I have an implied 1 here, I'm going to put a 2 there. You have a 2 here, I'm going to change that to 4, 3 here, change that to 6. And we're going to go through and rebalance everything. Or recount everything. Alright, we've got 2 times 2, or 4 carbons. 2 times 6, 12 hydrogens, and we haven't changed the number of oxygens yet. 4 times 1 carbon gives us 4 carbons. Oxygens are a bit complex, so let's make sure we make a list of them over here, make a math problem. 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 1 is 6. So that's 14 oxygens on the right hand side. And go over here, and the hydrogens, we've got 6 times 2, or we've got 12 hydrogens. And now when we look at how to balance the oxygen, it's a little bit easier because if I put a 7 here, 7 times 2 is going to give me 14. And that's balanced. Got it? Alright. Let's go to let's see, that was problem number 4. Number 5. CrCl2 aqueous, aluminum solid, aluminum chloride aqueous. Yeah, I already did that one, or classified that one. And then we've got Cr, or chromium solid. Alright, so let's count up all our atoms and do the atom inventory. Chromium, chlorine, aluminum. Make the atom inventory grid here. Count everything. 1 chromium, 2 chlorines, 1 aluminum. Over here I've got 1 chromium, I've got 1 aluminum, and 3 chlorines. If I've got 2 chlorines on this side and 3 on this side, the only way to get those to work out is if I put a coefficient 2 here and a coefficient 3 here. All right, let's go back and recount the chromiums and the chlorines here on this side. So chromiums and chlorines are going to change. I now have 3 chromiums, and I have 3 times 2, or 6 chlorines. Let's change the aluminums and chlorines on this side. So now I have 2 aluminums, and 2 times the 3 chlorines, or 6 chlorines. So I need to balance the chromiums now. And that one's fairly simple. I put a 3 here. That's going to give me 3 chromiums. And I'm going to put a 2 here, and that's going to give me 2 aluminums, and that balances the equation. Okay, what I have here is an element that's by itself that goes over and displaces another element it's like, okay, and joins up then with the back of that compound. The chromium goes from being in a compound to being by itself, and the chlorine has switched partners. It started out with the chromium, and it's ended up with the aluminum. Okay, so because I have an element that's by itself that displaces an element that it's like in a compound, I have a single replacement reaction. Single displacement, that's how I like to call it. That's what I prefer. Single replacement is fine. Won't count it wrong. I just like to call it displacement because I think it more clearly sort of states what is really happening. It's displacing it. That's because the more active element displaces one that it's like in the compound. And we will find out about what activity means later. Alright, last one. H2CO3 aqueous, CO2 gas, H2O liquid. HCO, two, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, and that one's balanced. And this is where we have a more complex compound that's breaking up to form 2 simpler compounds, and that's called decomposition. Okay. If we're going to grade this, let's see what we're going to do here. I know, I heard you don't want to do that. Let's just see what we would do if we did it and figure out what we want to do here. Alright. So I've got coefficients here, here, here. 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. I've got, let's see, some of your numbers might not come out to be, I mean, you could actually balance this without having exactly the same numbers and cancellations. Let me think a minute. Alright, so the initial counting 5, 1, 6, 1 have to be there. And canceling those has to be there. Okay? And the final number has to be the same. Okay? But the intermediate numbers you can balance it with some different numbers in between. Okay? But those things have to be the same. And so the initial counting of 2, 2, 9, and 3, those have to be the same. You do have to cancel 2 and 9, and you have to come up with 12 and 14. But you may come up with it somewhere else, some other way. You can get there by balancing in a different way. And then you've got to classify this as double replacement and acid base. I want to give these a little more points than I give this up here. Let's count what we got up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Let's give both of these 3 points. So that makes this whole thing worth 33 points, right? So these are worth 3 points each.
Yeah.
Why didn't you count that last part?
I didn't, well, I gave you that. The only thing that I'm counting up here is where you put your coefficients in. Now, if you had to figure out what that was, then I'd give you some points for that. Okay. All right, over here, there are no coefficients in here except for this one. There's one coefficient. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus that one 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then double replacement is worth 3 points. That's 23 points. Yeah, I've been sick all week. All right, so this is worth, we said the classification is worth 3 points. Down here, there are no coefficients, but all you had to do is, all you had to do is count everything in the atom inventory. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus this is worth 3 points. That makes this whole thing worth 12 points.
The first one was 33 points, right?
Yes. And that was the hard one. Everybody said it was a hard one. I guess it was a hard one. It did require a lot of back and forth to get it balanced. Got a coefficient here, 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 but you had to cancel this one. Let's see, could you have done it? Well, let's just go ahead and just with the main coefficients. I'm not sure whether you could do that without having to do the cancellation or not. Probably would require to do it, but I'm just going to give the points for the coefficients in front. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, 2, 6, 2. Cancel each one of those. Final number. 1 in cancellation, 2 in cancellation, 3 in cancellation, 4, 12, and 14. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Plus the 3 points for combustion. 28 points. How about that? This one may be worth more than 100 points. It's okay. All right. So, well, I don't want to make it worth more than some other homework. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 points there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, plus 3 points here, 28 points. Yeah, 28. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the 3 here. So that's 12 points for this one.
That's a total of 136.
Is it?
Yep.
Do I go back to the first page? 136 is what I was told the total was. I haven't added it up myself, but if y'all don't think that, if you don't think that key is right, put it in your calculator and check it out. Test her out.